Welcome, everyone. It's a pleasure to have you join us for another exciting lesson on data governance and privacy. Today, we'll be diving into the fascinating world of differential privacy. In this session, we'll start by clearly defining what differential privacy is and exploring its key features. We'll then delve into the various types of differential privacy, giving you a comprehensive understanding of this important concept. Additionally, we'll discuss the delicate balance between privacy and accuracy, providing insights into how these two crucial aspects interact. I'm thrilled to share this knowledge with you and can't wait to get started. Let's move on to the next slide and begin our journey into differential privacy together. Let's begin our lesson on differential privacy by defining it and discussing it for a bit. Differential privacy is a fascinating concept, especially in today's digital age, where data privacy is more crucial than ever. So, let's dive into what it really means. Imagine you're part of a group that's answering a survey, and you're concerned about your personal information being revealed. Differential privacy comes into play to address this concern. It's a system for publicly sharing information about a dataset by describing the patterns of groups within the dataset while withholding information about individuals in the dataset. Here's how it works. When a query is made on the data, differential privacy introduces a little bit of randomness to the responses. This randomness ensures that one cannot determine whether any individual's data was included in the original dataset or not. The cool part? It does this while still providing useful data that accurately reflects the larger population. So you might wonder, how much randomness is enough? This is measured by something called a privacy budget. A smaller privacy budget means more privacy and typically more noise added. But it also might mean less accurate data. Balancing this is key in differential privacy. This approach is really important because it allows researchers and companies to gain insights from data without compromising the privacy of the individuals who contribute their information. Whether it's health data, financial records, or even movie preferences, differential privacy helps use this data responsibly. In summary, differential privacy ensures that you can participate in data-driven studies or services without worrying about your personal information being exposed. It's a clever blend of math and ethics, all built into algorithms that protect individual privacy. Quite a smart way to handle sensitive information, don't you think? Let's continue our lesson and focus on the key features of differential privacy. We will discuss random noise addition, privacy budget, flexibility in application, robustness against data linkage attacks, and transparency. Differential privacy is such an ingenious tool in the field of data protection, and it's packed with features that make it incredibly effective. Let's walk through some of these key features to understand why it's becoming a go-to method for ensuring privacy in data analysis. First off, one of the core features of differential privacy is random noise addition. What this does is it adds just enough statistical noise to the data being analyzed to mask the identity of individuals. This is like blending in small control distortion into the data, which ensures that any output or result from the data analysis won't compromise individual privacy. It's kind of like pixelating part of a picture to hide someone's face. You still get the gist of the image without recognizing the person. Another crucial feature is the privacy budget. This concept is about managing how much information is exposed. Each query to a dataset reduces the privacy budget a bit, and once it's depleted, no more queries are allowed. This prevents someone from making infinite queries to eventually piece together private data. It's a bit like having a limited number of guesses to figure out a puzzle. Too many guesses and the game stops, protecting the solution. Flexibility in application is also a standout feature. Differential privacy isn't tied to any specific type of data or analysis method. It can be applied to various data types and sizes, making it versatile across different industries and research fields. Whether it's health records, financial information, or consumer behavior data, differential privacy can adapt to ensure that the privacy of individuals contributing data is maintained. Furthermore, robustness against data linkage attacks is another impressive aspect. Even if an attacker has additional information from outside sources, differential privacy mechanisms are designed to protect against the risk of identifying individuals in the dataset. This is crucial because as we link more data sources together in today's interconnected world, the potential privacy risks increase. Lastly, transparency is a feature not to be overlooked. With differential privacy, organizations can provide strong privacy assurances to individuals whose data is being used, which can be verified by independent parties. This transparency builds trust and allows for more ethical handling of data. These features make differential privacy a powerful and reliable approach to maintaining privacy in the age of big data. It's a thoughtful balance of science and ethics, allowing for valuable insights from data while protecting individual identities. What a smart way to navigate the complex landscape of data privacy, right? Now, let's dive into how differential privacy works to protect sensitive information, while still allowing for valuable insights to be gleaned from the data. Differential privacy is a mathematical framework that introduces control noise into a dataset before sharing it. This noise helps mask the presence or absence of any individual's data, making it difficult for an attacker to identify specific people within the dataset. Here's a step-by-step overview of how differential privacy is typically implemented. Data collection. The original, sensitive data is collected from various sources and stored securely. Query design. Analysts determine the specific question they want to ask of the data without directly accessing the raw, sensitive information. Noise injection. A carefully calibrated amount of random noise is added to the results of the queries. This noise is designed to maintain the overall statistical properties of the data while obscuring individual contributions. Result sharing. The noisy results are then shared with the analysts, who can draw insights from the data without being able to identify any specific individual. The amount of noise added depends on the desired level of privacy and the sensitivity of the query. Differential privacy provides a mathematical guarantee that the presence or absence of any single individual in the dataset will not significantly affect the final results. It's important to note that there is a trade-off between privacy and accuracy. Adding more noise increases privacy, but can decrease the accuracy of the results. Balancing this trade-off is a key consideration in implementing differential privacy. By employing differential privacy, organizations can protect individual privacy while still enabling valuable data analysis and decision-making. This innovative approach has revolutionized the way we handle sensitive information in various domains, from healthcare to finance and beyond. When it comes to differential privacy, there's an inherent tension between privacy and accuracy. It's a bit of a balancing act, you see. On one hand, we want to protect the privacy of individuals whose data is being analyzed. We don't want anyone to be able to look at the results and say, aha, that's John's data right there. But on the other hand, we also want the results of our analysis to be as accurate as possible. After all, what's the point of analyzing data if the insights we gain are too noisy or misleading? So, how do we strike the right balance? Well, it all comes down to the amount of noise we introduce into the data set. The more noise we add, the more privacy we guarantee, but the less accurate our results become. It's like trying to have a conversation in a crowded room. The more background noise there is, the harder it is to hear what's being said. Imagine you're a data analyst working with a data set of medical records. You want to find out how many people in the data set have a certain condition, but you also want to make sure that no one can identify any specific individual based on the results. If you add too little noise to the data, you might get a very accurate count, but you risk exposing sensitive information about individuals. On the flip side, if you add too much noise, you might end up with a count that's way off the mark, rendering your analysis practically useless. The key is to find that sweet spot where you've added enough noise to protect privacy, but not so much that you lose all semblance of accuracy. It's a delicate dance, and it requires a deep understanding of the data, the algorithms being used, and the potential privacy risk involved. At the end of the day, differential privacy is all about striking a balance between these two competing priorities. By carefully calibrating the amount of noise we introduce, we can protect individual privacy while still extracting valuable insights from the data. It's a powerful tool, but like any tool, it needs to be wielded with care and expertise. Used properly, differential privacy can help us unlock the full potential of data analysis while still respecting the fundamental right to privacy. And that, my friends, is a beautiful thing. When it comes to differential privacy, there are a few different flavors to choose from. It's not quite as simple as vanilla, chocolate, or strawberry. But bear with me, and I'll break it down for you. First up, we have what's called pure differential privacy. This is the strictest form of differential privacy, and it provides the strongest guarantees of privacy protection. With pure differential privacy, the amount of noise added to the data is determined solely by the sensitivity of the query being asked. It doesn't matter how many queries are made or how they're related to each other. Each query gets the same amount of noise added to the results. Think of it like a security guard who treats everyone the same, whether they're a regular visitor or a complete stranger. Pure differential privacy is like that. It doesn't play favorites or make exceptions, but sometimes pure differential privacy can be a bit too strict. It can lead to results that are so noisy they're practically useless. That's where approximate differential privacy comes in. With approximate differential privacy, we relax the rules a little bit. We allow for a tiny bit of leakage, a small chance that some information about individuals might be revealed. But in exchange, we get results that are less noisy and more accurate. It's like the security guard who occasionally lets a familiar face through without checking their ID. There's a slight risk involved, but the overall system still works pretty well. Finally, we have local differential privacy. This is a bit different from the other two types because it focuses on protecting privacy at the data collection stage rather than the analysis stage. With local differential privacy, noise is added to each individual's data before it's even collected or stored. This means that the data collector never sees the raw, sensitive data. They only see the noisy, protected version. It's like if you were asked to fill out a survey, but instead of writing down your actual answers, you wrote down slightly modified versions that still capture the general idea, but didn't reveal anything too personal. Local differential privacy is great for situations where you don't fully trust the data collector or where you want to give individuals more control over their own data. So there you have it, the three main types of differential privacy. Each one has its own strengths and weaknesses, and the right choice depends on the specific needs of the situation. Whether you go for the strict security of pure differential privacy, the balanced approach of approximate differential privacy, or the individual control of local differential privacy, the goal is always the same: to protect the privacy of individuals while still allowing for valuable insights to be gleaned from the data. It's a complex topic, but one that's becoming more and more important as we grapple with the challenges of big data and personal privacy in the digital age. Let's end our lesson by answering the following question. Why aren't more companies using differential privacy? You know, it's a great question. Why aren't more companies jumping on that differential privacy bandwagon? With all that buzz around data privacy these days, you'd think everyone would be rushing to adopt this powerful tool. But the truth is, Implementing differential privacy isn't always as simple as flipping a switch. It requires a significant investment of time, resources, and expertise. And for many companies, that can be a daunting prospect. Think about it. To use differential privacy effectively, you need to have a deep understanding of your data, the algorithms you're using, and the potential privacy risk involved. You need to be able to carefully calibrate the amount of noise you introduce, and you need to have systems in place to manage and monitor the whole process. For a lot of companies, especially smaller ones, that's a tall order. They may not have the in-house expertise or the budget to bring in outside consultants. They may be working with legacy systems that aren't easily adapted to differential privacy. Or they may simply be focused on other priorities like staying afloat in a tough market. There's also the fact that differential privacy is still a relatively new concept. While it's been around in academic circles for a while, it's only recently started to gain traction in the business world. Many companies may not even be aware of it, or may not fully understand how it works and what benefits it can offer. And let's be honest, there's also a certain level of inertia at play. Changing the way you handle data privacy is a big undertaking, and it can be tempting to stick with the status quo, especially if you haven't had any major privacy breaches or complaints from customers. But here's the thing. As consumers become more aware of and concerned about their personal data, companies that don't take privacy seriously are going to find themselves at a disadvantage. Differential privacy offers a way to build trust with customers and demonstrate a commitment to protecting their information. So, while it may not be the easiest thing in the world to implement, I believe that more and more companies will start to see the value in differential privacy. It's not just about compliance or avoiding fines, it's about doing the right thing and respecting the privacy of the people whose data you're entrusted with. And who knows, as more companies adopt differential privacy, we may start to see a shift in the wider culture around data privacy. Wouldn't that be something? In the end, it's up to each individual company to weigh the costs and benefits of differential privacy and decide if it's right for them. But one thing is for sure, in a world where data is king, those who prioritize privacy will be the ones who come out on top.